Hey guys, it's Lemming Rush. Today we're going to be taking a look at how you want to be playing Abbey when you're in a top tier medium tank. So we're watching Bill Nye, the stat pad guy. He's in his T44 100, and a lot of people like to go middle on the map Abbey in their medium tanks. Now, I personally don't like that. What I find when I go middle is that RD will click me, TDs camping at B5 will click me, and any mediums that I'm engaging. It's not really a skill competition. It's more of whoever fires first. And has the best DPM, and that's who will win. And then once you're done that fight, you're always left as a one-shot. So I don't like the middle. I think it's very committal, and you get YOLO'd a lot when you play the mid. So I prefer to go to the 2-line. You can see Bill is doing that, and this replay should basically show you exactly why you want to be playing the 2-line and how to play it when you do go there. Alright, so Bill's coming up to F3 area. This is what I like. This position gets you shots on the middle, and this is why the middle this is when the middle sort of starts to suck. You can see Bill is able to put shots into the Cromwell. He's basically just going to have shots on days for these guys, and you can see that right here. So you can see one Cromwell moves out of his line of fire. He's able to put shots into a Type 62. There's also a Cromwell B to his right. He sees that now. And I mean, basically, because the enemy is so aggressive, he's able to just farm them, and that's what he's doing. What you're going to notice is that he doesn't really have anyone spotting the 2 lines. So this is something I noticed. There's an IS-3 to his right. Those people will sort of spot any heavies who go to the 2 line, but if they do, it might be too late. So he just has to be sort of aware of that. Generally, when you're playing this position right here, you need to make sure someone's playing or doing what the IS-6 is doing. Alright, so Bill is sort of, I guess he's got bored of his position. He's going to start to push up. He had no one else to shoot at, so he's going to support this IS-6. They're going to push into a crossfire between the OI, the Fury, and the T-34. Now, this is a mistake, simply because, like I said, it's a crossfire. Oftentimes, people, if they're being a passive team, people will camp here, and a lot of people will camp back here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to watch how Bill plays this. He plays this absolutely perfectly. So, there's 3 tanks. He's pushing into 1 tank, and the reason for that is 1 tank is easier to deal with than 3. So he's getting behind this T-34. Luckily, there's no one supporting the T-34, but he is able to sort of just farm these guys as, you know, the IS-6 is sort of slowed, and he tries to push up. This is the right play to do in a situation like this because he's only engaging 1 gun at a time. By pushing forwards, he basically removed these 3 tanks from the fight. He takes a hit, he loses his loader, he's going to kill the T-34, he repairs his loader, and now he's in a situation where he has to deal with 3 tanks, and he is not alone, actually. These tanks are in a crossfire with the IS-3 who's over here, which is really positive. You're going to see he's going to go for the, basically, I would personally be going for the Fury. I think this is a bit of a mistake, but you can see he's shooting the tanks in front of him. He's pushing the T-34 as well. Basically, he's just going to focus down the OI here, and then probably the Fury, and then the T-28 prototype. The Fury's backing off, so he's not able to focus down the OI or the whatever it's called. He basically just has to shoot at the T-28 prototype, and he's playing this perfectly here. He's going for the lowest HP. He's removing the amount of guns that are shooting back at him. The T-28 prototype takes a shot at him. He's shooting HE, and now it's basically a 1v1 because the Fury has run away and left the T-28 prototype. The IS-3 joins the fight. Now it's a 2v1, and this T-28 prototype's really screwed. He goes for the track, and this is basically just brawling, so I feel like I can fast forward it. Kills the T-28 prototype, and now he's in an interesting sort of situation because he's got a Tiger 2 in the middle. The Hellcat will probably lose to the Fury, and they've got a Jag Tiger, T-29, and a WZ pressuring his cap. You can see he's getting shots at the Tiger. I think this is an okay decision because he has time. If there were more people on cap, he'd have to go back sooner, but he definitely has the time to kill this Tiger, and he does. Now he's just going to push into the one-shot Fury and then work on resetting the cap circle. Alright, so I've already discussed the advantages of sort of winning this area here. You can see, obviously, he had perfect shots in the middle, and that sort of really allowed him to screw over the enemy team. Now he's also going to have another really advantageous position. So his team is controlling the center part of the map, but he's also coming up sort of in a side angle. So what you're going to notice is he's going to have side shots on the people on cap. Sometimes they're a bit difficult to spot from this location, but you can see the WZ isn't paying attention, and he's able to like basically reset the cap very easily. Now, the Jag Tiger and the Oni are sort of in awkward positions. Normally you won't find enemy tanks right there, but since they're crossing the middle of an open field, again, this H3 location becomes extremely powerful. You can also get shots on those people from F2, which is interesting to note. and he's going to try to finish off the WZ, but he doesn't get the kill. He only shoots, misses, and basically he's just using the positions that he has to his advantage. You can see how strong they are. They're giving him easy shots on the enemy, and realistically, this is why I like to play the 2-line, because it just gives you so many shots on people who try to cap out, take the middle, or cross the field like like the enemy team, which I'll admit is rare, but sometimes it does happen. You can see he's up to 5k damage now. There's 3 tanks left. He's got 6 kills. He's sort of in a situation where he doesn't want to get clicked because it's a good replay, but he also does want to kill the WZ because, you know, he's an easy kill. He manages to pick up the 7th, and I think I can just fast forward the rest of this replay. Alright, so important things to note. H3, really good position for defending the base. F2 is extremely good for winning the 2-line and putting shots on the cap. That's pretty much my experience. Like, this replay, the reason I'm using it is because it you know, to me it makes sense. This is what I would suggest doing when you're on this map. I'd suggest playing the 2-line, and then if they've managed to push through the 9-line, which sometimes does happen, it's very, very easy to come reset the base from H3. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so one last thing I actually want to talk about. If you're in a position where H3 isn't working for you, like for example where that IS3 is and they're on cap and you can't spot them, this is how you're going to want to approach a reset. You're going to want to come up to this ridge and play hull down and spot the people capping. Now he's using this to fight the T29, but it's the same thing. You want to play this area. You can see he's relatively hull down against the T29, and instead of shooting the T29, what you'd be doing is you'd just be spotting the people on cap, because there are bushes on the cap circle that make it very difficult to spot light tanks at times. So that's just some advice. If you can't spot people at H3, come to this area. Be mindful of people over here, but generally this is sort of like the last resort, and it should give you the ability to spot people on cap and potentially shoot them. Alrighty, so just as a recap, this is how I like to play, or the positions that I will use when I'm in a medium tank on this map. I will go to the 2-line. I'll typically play around this area right here, get shots off on the middle. Occasionally what I'll do is I'll play up on this rock here. He didn't use this in the video, but gives you really good shots in the heavies. So right here, you're hull down, and you can again shoot at the people in the middle. Didn't mean to move that. And then once this line is cleared out, you have 2 options. You can go back to base, you can continue to farm the people in the middle here, or you can push through. If you push through, using this sort of crest will give you shots on TDs camping, as well as people in the middle of the map. And then if you're going back to base, I like to play this area, get shots on the people in the middle, and potentially get resets. If you can't get resets, come down to here, and that will definitely give you resets. So yeah, let's go take a look at the end plates. Alrighty, so Bill got 105,000 credits, 37k XP. Not sure if this was a double or not. Obviously, that was a mastery badge. I mean, it was 8 kills, 6k damage, high caliber, etc. As you can see, 6k damage, 8 kills, 1782 base XP, and he profited 58,000 because he shot a lot of gold. So yeah, if you thought this video was helpful and you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.